Good morning, it's Jeffrey Cohen. How are you? Focus on beta this morning. So we look at the stock market, we look at when it opens, and we're trying to figure out where's the action, what's the market doing, is it interesting? And beta seems like it's interesting today. So we're going to take a look at a few stocks that have high and low beta, and we're going to see what they're doing this morning. So this morning, the S&P 500 is down 0.2%. Right, Nasdaq is down 0.1%. The Russell small cap looks like it's up, but that actually might be old data, so that might not be updated. We're going to take a quick look at the spider, which we can keep track of. It's at 404.21 according to a Nasdaq book viewer, which we like. And we're going to see how that trades. So while we're watching stocks, and we'll just do the first half, we'll just do the bid side. So, high beta stocks. These are stocks with a beta of greater than 2.8. This list was created a week or two ago, so it's not quite perfect, but it's close enough, right? And so when we look at this list, what we want to see is how we doing, right? Like if we look at them, there's not that many of them. So what? There's like 10. 3 of them are down, 7 of them are up. This would actually be a money-making trade this morning, is to be in high beta stocks. So the market looks pretty good today. Looks like it's going to support those who are willing to take risks, at least as of the market open. So high beta stocks. Let's take a look at low beta stocks. And we're sorting by change and percentage. Low beta stocks are dramatically lower, right? There's 4 of them that are up out of 8, 12, 16, 19. So there's 19 of them, and only 4 are up. And you can see the ups are real small, 1.3%, but also 0.06. So it looks like it's a 0.6 is a median on the ups, and you see the downs. A lot of down. So the question is, why is the market selling off low beta stocks and buying high beta stocks? Not a ton, but some, and doing it when the market's lower. So normally I look at this and I say it's a head fake, run for the hills. What else do I want to look at? I want to look at chips and semiconductors. Chips and semiconductors are traditionally your high beta play, and you see Intel's down 10%. So Intel's down because they had earnings issues. You see KLA Corporation is also down 7.5%. The whole index for semiconductors, the 3X bull shares, is down 5%. So semiconductors are down. Okay, so that's a high beta space, right? And so that would be pulling high beta down, not up. That's probably the play of the day here. We could look at cryptocurrencies, which are enormously high risk. Oh boy. Screen froze up. Okay, that's not helpful. Let's take a look at something else. We're going to wait on that one. Cryptocurrencies. You see how it's not loading? Oh boy. Hope the New York Stock Exchange didn't break again today. Oh, system's broken. So, get out of that. Wow. We'll look at Twitter, see if that's broken. No, it's working. Nothing interesting. Let's take a look at the moves here. I mean, FOMC's been trending for like a week, right? Nobody knows what the FOMC is going to do. All right. Could look at a couple stocks. You know, we are invested in Corbis, CRBP. And Corbis, it's interesting. You have 658,000 shares bid, which seems like a lot. but you have 2.4 million offered. And you can see that they are painting the tape right around 16 cents. That the stock can go up 16 cents and it really won't bother anybody. It's actually probably more like 15.7. And so that's interesting, right? What else can we see about Corbis? So certain places, while we're waiting for Yahoo Finance to come back. So you can see it's at 14.2. It's not really moving. This is a dog stock that hasn't moved. You see the 1 month Treasury at 4.5. Now that's interesting, right? Because FOMC is going to declare rates. They're probably going to raise. You're probably going to see that number closer to 5. I don't know why it's not moving to 5 yet, though. I do like to go through. I have a couple of things that I track on Twitter. One of them is the Corbis chatter, which there's basically no chatter about Corbis, which worries me. There should be chatter about Corbis. It's one of those pump and dump kind of stocks, right? Oh, here's a bullish post. Waiting for $1. That's nice. We'll see. Is Betty? She's 11 followers. Not much going on. Pretty new to the game. So we'll take a look at the. We pay for this. No, we don't pay for this. This is CBOE, Chicago Board of Options Exchange. They show a top of the book. In the BZX exchange, you see trading above 14. In the BYX, you can see the spread here is at 13.71 to 14.25. That's black. It's top of the book. You can see an EdgeX, which is usually the most common, the most highly traded, and that's got a spread of 14 to 14.25. 14 cents to 14.25. You see Edge A is at 13.71 to 14.28. So what's interesting is these are different prices for different exchanges. Now when you make an order, it normally finds the best price. And so 14 is not the best price. I think you're seeing 13.71 is the best price. No, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. 14 is the best price. So if you put in if you're trying to sell, you're going to get 14 cents. If you're trying to buy, you're going to pay 14.25 cents. Okay, so it's above 14. That's great. That doesn't say much. There's no news. There's nothing interesting about Corbis. It's just, it's just up 1%. And so I look at this and I think, all right, nothing going on with Corbis today. Let's move it to the back of the pile. Let's go back to... So we're at 404.51. Let's go back to betas. Did you hear that? I heard that. We have a cat. Cat's gone crazy. Cat's on fire. Low beta stocks, have they recovered? Surprisingly down, although starting to edge back up again. There were 4 up, now there's 7 up and 2 unchanged. So you see the S&P 500 is basically unchanged. High beta stocks, only 2 down, 8 of them are up, and they're up pretty good. So it's a risk-on day on Friday. Now, maybe it's because people get the day off on Friday. They come and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to trade some stocks. I'm going to make some money today. I'm going to make, 40 grand today, and then I'm going to call it. Might be the case. And if you're going to make a lot of money, you're going to make them generally on high beta. We could look at, we're going to go right back to semiconductors. Semiconductors is another very high beta. We can look at cannabis as well. So Intel is still down almost 10%. KLA Corp is still down 6%. Moderating. Nvidia and Micron are up slightly. On semiconductors up slightly. So it looks like the market's shifting a little. So chips and semiconductors are down. You can see the market has shifted to the positive. So money flowing into high beta stocks has played this out. Now we look at steel and miners. This is really your economy play here. These are all global steel companies. We're not following our U.S. only pattern when we look at steel because there aren't enough of them. But you can see a whole mix of stocks that are down as well. And Vale and Rio aren't steel, BHP. They're more general mining. You got Alcoa down. So this is not an optimistic market. It's kind of flat in terms of hardcore economic names. Money managers. Show me the money, Jeff. So the small ones like Cohen and Cohen are down a lot. UBS is down. Credit Suisse is down. But who's up is Schwab and Brookfield Asset Management, Robinhood, Blackstone, State Street. So some safer names. I don't know what I'm seeing here. I thought I had something here with the beta, right? Because in the morning, right when it opened, right? So high beta is still up. High beta looks good except for this one cryptocurrency name, Mara. Which, by the way, I did some fundamental research on Mara and it dropped off my list in an aggressive way. I really didn't like how they shut down the Oregon data center. They spent a lot of time and a lot of money to get it right with an energy provider. And they said, oh, we're not going to use this one because it's not green enough. But it was cheap electricity and they should have used it. Trucking and transport. Where are we with that? So trucking and transport is up. Yellow is up almost 4.5% here. We looked at yellow to take a position. It's a real turnaround story. They do have to turn around. If they don't turn around, they don't make it. So yellow is entirely a play of a turnaround. But maybe you like turnarounds. Maybe that makes you happy. And so if that's the case, you take a look at it, right? You say, okay, maybe. Maybe there's something there. What do I see? Tiny market cap of $155 million, about $800 million in debt just to the government. I think they owe $1.5 billion. Their interest expense equals their operating income. And so yellow won't make it unless they can turn around. Cryptocurrencies. How are they doing this morning? How are my cryptocurrencies doing this morning? Not the cryptocurrencies. What is that? All right, Yahoo Finance is broken. I'm so sorry. So, what else can we look at? We can go back to Corbis. I love Corbis. By the way, we're doing our financials, so that's what our top line of our income statement looks like. It's going to be great. I'm going to spend days figuring out every dollar that we made and spent. Oh, I'm so looking forward to that, Jeffrey. So looking forward to that. Well, we could just watch Corbis for a minute. It's always exciting. You see the S&P is up 405.27. So S&P is moving higher. How are we doing with Corbis? 14 to 14 and a quarter still, with a reasonable amount of volume at that level. 14 to 14 and a quarter with a lot less volume. You can see the first real volume buy here is at 1380, 20,000 shares, and 1450. So 1380 to 1450 is really your first speed bump there. 1371 to 1428, but you still got buys in at 14. It's interesting. Now, we'll take a look at Book Viewer. You can change the columns. We're going to select all of them, and we're going to talk through what you see on Book Viewer and what you see it specifically for Corbis, because this is the stock that we're watching this morning. This is a stock where we have a position, and it's important that you know that. This is a stock that we own. We are not pumping this stock. It is a dog shit company, but we love the stock. It's actually a biotech, early stage. They got some early stage stuff for physical tumors, solid tumors, and obesity. Oh, but they're preclinical. They're not even. It's awful. It's awful. And they got to get money. They're going to have to raise money. It's an awful company. But I love their drug candidates, and I do think something's going to happen here. So, but if we look, just to be, don't worry about it, right? Just look at the book. What you see is, you see the time the orders were entered, and it's now 9:53. And what's interesting is, this is not a current book. It's 20 minutes old, 19 minutes old. So they're showing a 19-minute-old book. Okay, that's odd. What they're showing, though, is that your market makers, FLTG and VIRT, right, they're ready to play at 1438, 1463, and 1491 for 100 shares each. They're also ready at 1382, 1358, and 1330. And so FLTG will make a market in this stock anywhere from 1382 to 1438. So that's 51-cent spread, which is about 3.5% spread. Makes sense. It's just not updating. So then we look here and we see, is there any update here? So I don't like it when BookViewer doesn't update, because it tells me something's wrong, right? What's wrong? Why isn't it working? So we look here, and the update is actually 9:53, 9:53, 9:53, and 9:53. So this is 2 minutes old, minute and a half to 2 minutes old. And you can see here at 1371 to 1428 in Edge A, 14 to 1424, 1371 to 14 and a quarter, 14 to 14 and a quarter. You can see that in the last minute, some very small trades around 1420, less than 100 shares, which is odd for a 14-cent stock, 1 share. So people are marking, but nothing's happening, 100 shares. So this stock is going nowhere, and it's going nowhere super fast. Is there any volume trading? 43,000 shares at 14 cents is about $6,000 worth of stock traded. So nothing's happening. Sure, it's up 1%, but on $6,000 worth of trading, that's nothing. So Corbis is dead today. Nothing happening. And the funny part is that they're not even updating. Something's going on. Let's take a look at Yellow, which we talked to about. Yellow is up today at 302. SMLP is one of our old favorites. You see here, 157 orders entered, but 0 volume on NASDAQ. Now, it's a New York Stock Exchange traded stock, but nothing's traded. ETMM is a market maker. ETMM is the same market maker making top of the book. 1715 to 1936. That's a $2 spread. That's a $2.21 spread. That's like a 12% spread. That's crazy talk, or more. So no one's trading it. There's no liquidity. So where's the liquidity today, Jeff? Maybe it's an Intel. 11.7 million shares traded. You see the book. So now we're going to talk about the book. The bid-ask spread is within a penny. It's 27.69 to 27.70. And you see all these shares, right? So there's 1,419 or 1,600 shares top of the book to 4,600 shares. So that's nice. That means if you have a 100 share trade you want to make, you're probably going to get executed within a penny or two. Stock's moving. Now you're at 60 to 61, 61 to 62, 62 to 63. It's moving. You see the time. The time here is all trading within the last second. These are orders that are being updated within seconds. Not all of them, but some of them. Top of the book. So people are trading the stock second to second. That's a highly liquid stock. That's a stock with action. And so people are making a couple cents a share, and they're perfectly happy, right? They're not necessarily building long-term positions for their kids' retirement account. This is second to second. Look at that. Multiple orders within the same 2-second time frame, within the same second. So they are electronically entering orders. Now it's slowed down a little bit. Now it's within 4 seconds, 5 seconds. But here you see same thing, right? It's within the same half of a second. Within the same tenth of a second. So people are putting their trades in. Computers are putting their trades in and they're trading it electronically. Computer algorithm trading on Intel. Let's go back to Corbis now. Let's see. We got any interactive trading now going on? Nope, we're still at 9:34 in the morning. That's 25 minutes ago. What the hell's going on? In other words, nothing's going on. Market's broke, it's slow. This is a dog stock that no one's trading. 18 shares. Oh, that's big. 18 shares at 14 cents each. 1 share, 100 shares, 1 share. This is not moving. Everyone's positioning with Corbis, but no one's taking the bait. And so that's fine. Shut those down. Let's go back to Yahoo Finance, right? Let's go back to high beta, low beta, and negative beta. Now, I haven't talked about negative beta yet because I'm leaving that out there for a minute. So we look at highest beta. Interestingly enough, still up and actually up pretty good. Now, the high beta that's down is down 3%. High betas that are up are 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. So you made money today on your high beta stocks. Low beta. Playing it safe today, didn't make any money. It's about flat if I look at it. If you would have evenly bought all these, you wouldn't have made any money. You wouldn't have lost any money. So Jeffrey, you talk about negative beta. Are there negative beta stocks out there? We're going to create a portfolio with negative beta stocks. The first thing you do is you go to ChicagoQuantum.com. Not our Medium page. ChicagoQuantum.com. It helps if you actually spell it out properly. And then you go more. And you go to market information. And you go negative beta stocks. And you look, and there's all this talk. I realize I'm talking up a storm. By the way, this chart doesn't show up on a cell phone. That's terrific, Jeffrey. You get a bunch of stuff here I can't even read. What are you doing? I got to fix all that for the mobile reader. So we're going to create a little tracker for negative beta. So the first is Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway B shares. Chesapeake Energy, CPK. CYTK, Cytokinetics. Husso, which is a bit of a meme stock. Houston American Energy Corp. MKUL, Molecule Group, spelled wrong. Telesis Bio. TBIO. U-Haul. Wow. U-Haul's a negative beta stock. I would have thought U-Hauls do well when the economy's good, but no, U-Hauls do well when the economy's bad because people get kicked out of their apartments. I get it. Cheap moves because I can't afford to rent. So now we're going to look at some other ones that are ETFs, and we're going to look at VIXI, which is a short-term future ETF for the VIX. There's UVIXI, which is another VIX related. There's the dollar one, UUP, Invesco DB US Dollar Index Bullish Fund. There's the Bear Cap 3X Direction, TZA. And there's the ProShares, SQQQ, which is another 3X. So I look at my negative beta stocks, and what I'm seeing here is, so the market's up 0.2. These should be down. But in fact, a lot of them are up. So why are negative beta stocks up when the market is up? there's something a little screwy in the market. Now they're low volume today. Oh my God. Look at this. The average 3-month volume is 1 million shares. For CYTK, it's traded 13,000 shares. 500,000, traded 5,000. 350, it's traded 2,500. I mean, 79, 80,000 to 6,000, isn't that crazy? 218,000 to 3,600. So people are not trading this morning. Even Berkshire Hathaway B shares, 3.7 million shares that traded 284,000. TBIO has only traded 1,000 shares. So some screwy. Low liquidity, low trading volumes. It's like a broken market today. I better go back and look at Corbis, right? If it's broke, it's broke. 14 cents. So we did some work on liquidity, but we never really finished it. It didn't do anything for us. We couldn't really prove. See, analysis discontinued on liquidity. Lots of data. You saw lots of movement, right? And we made an assertion. We made a hypothesis, right? That low liquidity markets tend to trade with high price changes. But there's no real proof of that, right? Prices could just be moving because prices want to move. And I know when prices move, it damages liquidity, but it's not a proven fact. It's not like, look at that, 934. Book viewer did not update for Corbis. Corbis is not trading. 3,500 shares. This is 1 million share a day kind of a stock. It's just not moving. Now the spider's moving. It's not moving. So, net, where are we? High beta stocks are up. Low beta stocks are mixed. Actually, they look like they've gone almost half and half, right? So low beta is not moving. And negative beta, stocks up a 1/4 point. Of course, your synthetic ones are going to be up a lot. Your VIX, your short 3 times. But you're still positive. So negative beta stocks are positive. You're just not moving. So it's almost like a little bit of tape painting. Oh, I got 1,000 shares. I'm gonna paint some tape here. I'm gonna spend $2,000. I'm gonna make sure the stock traded a little. Or it's a huge fund with 10,000 positions and they're just kind of doing a little bit here and there. So not much happening. So what this tells me is not much action. So then if I go to my platycurdic and low variance, so platycurdic stocks at low variance should not be moving much. And the good news now is the change percentage, negative 2.6% at the worst. Lots of close to zeros there, which is helpful. And positive 3.5, positive 3.25, positive 2. So not as much movement on the platycurdic, which is good. Those are low, fewer outliers. Leptokurtic has the ability to have outliers, but they're low variance, so they shouldn't. This is actually a tighter range of 1.7, 2.4. So, all right, thanks for watching. Net, what did we look at? We looked at high beta, we looked at low beta, and we looked at negative beta. And the high beta, surprisingly, is up. Less surprising now that the market has turned up. But the market was down and high beta was up, meaning that money had moved into high beta thinking that the market would go higher. Low beta, mixed. Still mixed. Pretty much means random at this point. No one's really paying attention to the low beta. And the negative beta, the synthetic ones are moving as expected, the top 4. But the actual stocks just aren't really trading. They're anomalies and are just not really moving. You know, what's funny is U-Haul's up another 1.5%. But again, on tiny volume. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye now.